LeBron James is one of the most decorated players in NBA history. 4 MVPs, 4 championships, and 4 Finals MVPs, the leading scorer in NBA history, and from there, the list just goes on and on and on. I'll be the first to admit, LeBron is great, and there's a serious discussion amongst NBA fans that he should be considered the greatest of all time. However, LeBron's career hasn't been without its controversies. For starters, he's notoriously known for always complaining to referees, expressing frustration over calls, and even flopping during games.
LeBron is telling him, look at my feet.
Perhaps the most significant criticism, though, is his tendency to leave teams during tough times. For instance, after the Cavaliers defeated the Magic in 2010, LeBron left for the Miami Heat. Later, when Dwayne Wade's performance declined and the Heat were soundly beaten by the Spurs, LeBron returned to the Cavaliers. Then, following a sweep by the Golden State Warriors after Kyrie Irving's departure, he moved again. Well, now in 2024, LeBron is facing another tough moment. After a second year where his team was obliterated by the Denver Nuggets, it seems that LeBron has made his decision and that he's doing it again.
The question everybody wants to know, LeBron, what's your decision?
In this fall, man, this is very tough. In this fall, I'm going to take my talents.
Before we dive deep into today's video, let's go over the important facts. First off, LeBron has long expressed his desire to play alongside his son, Bronny James. Second, LeBron James has a player option to decide whether he wants to stay with his current team, the Lakers, or to move on. Third, the deadline for this decision is June 29th, which, interestingly, falls 2 days after the NBA draft. Fourth, LeBron's agent, Rich Paul, has let slip that LeBron will be hitting free agency. And finally, number 5, Rich Paul also revealed that Bronny James plans to enter the 2024 NBA draft. Those are the essential facts we're working with today. There's one more thing, however, that I want to mention, and though it's just my personal take, I believe it's an extremely important insight. And this is that, despite LeBron's recent comments about changing his priorities when it comes to playing with Bronny, I truly believe that his ultimate goal, and what he'll strive for with all his might, is not only to play alongside Bronny, but also to win a championship together. Achieving this would be the perfect finale for his career, cementing his legacy in NBA discussions for many decades to come. However, LeBron faces 2 significant challenges that stand in his way. First, he has to make sure that no lower-ranked or middle-tier teams draft Bronny. Just think about it. What if Memphis at number 9 or Sacramento at number 13 decided to pick Bronny? That would be a curveball. I actually think this is why we're hearing reports that LeBron isn't prioritizing playing with Bronny anymore. He probably wants to avoid the teams that are thinking they can draft Bronny and automatically expect LeBron to follow. These scenarios would be a nightmare, and honestly, LeBron would probably rather retire than join one of those teams for a year. Yet, the chance of this happening is still there. Teams have made some wild decisions before. Take 1999, for instance, when Steve Francis made it clear he didn't want to play for Vancouver, and that despite his wishes, they still went ahead and chose him with their number 2 pick in the draft. Anyway, that's the first issue for LeBron, making sure that no unwarranted teams pick Bronny early in the draft. The second challenge is finding a championship caliber team that also holds a draft pick in just the right spot to select Bronny. This is a tricky balance to strike, especially considering the narratives that could follow. For example, he probably wouldn't choose Denver because it looked bad. I mean, they've beaten him for the past 2 years, so joining them might seem like he's just chasing a win. New York isn't ideal either. They were great this season, but they already have a solid Villanova group led by Jalen Brunson, so LeBron could end up like the odd one out there. Milwaukee also might not be on his list because, honestly, the city probably won't fit the lifestyle he's looking for. Then there's Boston. If the Celtics lose in the finals, maybe, but if they win against the Mavericks, it could look like LeBron is just tagging along for an easy championship, and he could quite possibly inherit a bit of the Kevin Durant treatment. So with all these nuances, only a few teams really make sense for LeBron limiting his choices in the first round of picks. So with that being said, Miami holds the 15th pick, Philly has the 16th, and Phoenix sits at the 22nd, giving each of them some intriguing options in the draft. On the other hand, the Lakers won't pick until late in the second round at number 55, similar to Golden State. However, teams can still pull off same-day draft trades. This isn't uncommon in the NBA. For example, Kobe Bryant was initially drafted by the Charlotte Hornets but was immediately traded to the Lakers. Similarly, Luka Doncic was picked by the Hawks but was traded right away to the Mavericks. So really, anything is possible in the draft. But moving on, there's word that Bronny has been invited for workouts by several teams, but he's only agreed to meet with the Lakers and Phoenix. However, in my opinion, Phoenix is a bit of a stretch. Just consider their recent performance. They didn't just get swept, they were completely crushed and humiliated by Anthony Edwards. Even with big names like Kevin Durant, Devin Booker, and Bradley Beal on their roster, they're still not close to being real championship contenders. The Lakers seem to be leading the race, especially with potential additions like Donovan Mitchell and LeBron's podcast buddy JJ Redick possibly joining the mix. Plus, it's already LeBron's home base, so it seems like the perfect fit. However, there's one big issue with the Lakers. They likely still wouldn't stand a chance against the Nuggets in a playoff matchup. I mean, though Anthony Davis is praised as one of the best centers in the league, capable of defending all 5 positions, he just can't handle Nikola Jokic. He looks at him like he's basically barbecue chicken, and I'm sure LeBron is well aware of this. The stats are just too clear. Against the Lakers in the 2024 playoffs, the Joker averaged 28 points, 16 rebounds, and 10 assists against AD, while shooting an impressive 59% from the field. And let's be real, adding Donovan Mitchell, who tends to be injury prone and often disappears in big playoff moments, won't change that situation. The same goes for JJ Redick, who will be stepping into a rookie head coaching role. He's likely not going to be an X factor either. So as appealing as it might sound to beef up the Lakers, LeBron probably realizes that another year there likely just means facing another loss. Philadelphia, over in the East, however, should really be catching LeBron's eye as an appealing option. Here's the breakdown of why. First off, he'd be playing in the Eastern Conference. It's widely recognized that the competition there tends to be less fierce than in the West. Just consider the Celtics' recent playoff path. They faced the Heat in the first round, the Cavaliers in the second, and the Pacers in the conference finals. None of those teams, by Vegas odds or any other analysis, were considered serious championship threats. If LeBron had faced a similar lineup of opponents, he'd likely find himself cruising into the finals again and in a prime position to compete for his 5th ring. On the other hand, the Western Conference is a bloodbath. The Mavericks, for example, started with the Clippers in the first round, then took on the number 1 seeded OKC Thunder in the second, and then the Timberwolves in the third round, the team that knocked out the Nuggets. Every team the Mavericks have come up against were legitimately in the conversation for winning the championship. That kind of competition is definitely something LeBron will consider when picking a team. Because, let's face it, LeBron will be turning 40 next year. And even though he seems to defy Father Time, the wear and tear is catching up with him. We can see signs that his body is becoming more human, especially with the injuries he's been facing. The second reason the 76ers might look really appealing to LeBron is that they've got a solid team. Joel Embiid, who was the MVP in 2023, stands out as one of the top centers in the league. He's one of the few big guys who can actually slow down Nikola Jokic. I mean, one of Jokic's big advantages is his size. He's nearly 300 pounds, which lets him overpower lighter centers for easy buckets at the rim. But the thing is, Embiid matches up well with him in both height and weight. Then there's Tyrese Maxey, a rising star at the guard position who just made his first All-Star appearance, and he's only getting better. Moreover, the 76ers are looking to really strengthen their squad by adding 2 more All-Star wings. So, alongside potentially recruiting LeBron, they might also bring in another high-caliber star. This kind of aggressive team building could make Philadelphia an even more attractive destination for LeBron. If everything falls into place, the 76ers could be strong contenders for the 2025 NBA Finals in the East. likely facing the Celtics as their only challenge in the Eastern Conference playoffs. Plus, the less intense competition in the East might allow them the ability to give Bronny James some valuable playing time. So, all in all, it really looks like the stars would align for the James family in Philly. This might explain why the rumors of LeBron heading to Philly are picking up steam lately. But you know what else is becoming more common every day? The hate towards Rudy Gobert, who just won his 4th Defensive Player of the Year award. Honestly, I didn't fully get why he was so unpopular among NBA players until I did some digging, and then it clicked. Curious about what I found? Then do yourself a favor and click on this video right here to find out more.